Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dan Greenberg. I'm a proud graduate of Bishop McDevitt High School from the great class of 1988. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2025 Bishop McDevitt Hall of Fame induction ceremony. In 1994, Bishop McDevitt High School initiated an Alumni Hall of Fame to honor graduates for giving life to our mission, vision, and values during and in the years following their graduation from McDevitt. Our second Alumni Hall of Fame inductee is Ronnie Polaneczky, class of 1976. She will be introduced by her friend Michael Ogborn, class of 78.
Ronnie was the fourth of her 9 siblings to enter Bishop McDevitt. Her older brother Al became an engineer and a military pilot. Her sister Peg became a physician, and her sister Patty became a businesswoman. And then came Ronnie, who brought a more artsy vibe to Mulford Road, and she was distinctly different from her siblings. After graduation, Ronnie went to Temple University and studied English. And for a while, we thought we were going to be the next captain in Tennille. But then we realized, why upstage them? And it was at Temple that Ronnie decided that she was going to be an English major. And in her senior year, she decided she was going to be a writer, a wordsmith, a storyteller. And that's when she did an internship at the Philadelphia Magazine and finally realized she was on her path. She stayed on at the magazine as a junior editor and then went on to become a reporter at the Philadelphia City Paper, a freelance writer for national magazines, the editor-in-chief of Atlantic City Magazine, and finally a Metro columnist and editor for 23 years at the Philadelphia Daily News and the Inquirer. This is where she really hit her professional stride. She became a known name in the city, winning local and national journalism awards for her work. Throughout her career, she celebrated, honored, and protected everyday humanity and the humanity of everyday people. She also righted the wrongs by taking the powerful people to task in ways that elevated the city spirit and explained its complexities in ways that were informed by her own insatiable curiosity, relentless commitment to fairness, her twisted humor, her hard-won wisdom and respect, and affection for the people and the city that she loved. Her crowning professional achievement was receiving the coveted Eugene Pulliam Journalism Fellowship. Say that 10 times fast. To create her powerhouse 4-part investigative series, Falling Off the Cliff. This series told the invisible stories of adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and what happens to them and their parents as they age into adulthood and beyond. The series won countless journalism awards and cemented Ronnie's legacy as a journalist whose work matters because it changed minds by changing hearts. Ronnie is a superb, outstanding storyteller whose body of work has managed something remarkable. It captures the beautiful, the honorable, the funny, the heartbreaking, and the collective messy condition of simply being human and trying to do the best we can with who we are, where we are, and what we've got. Ronnie's work exemplifies the best among us and the best within us. And Ronnie herself exemplifies more than that to me. I am so proud to be her fellow Lancer and prouder still to be her friend. All hail, Bishop McDevitt High, Ronnie Polaneczky.
is so cool. Can I take a picture? Let me just get a picture of this, because this is insane. If God, I wish I could go back to my teenage self and say, one day you're going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I know my teenage self would say, what the hell are you talking about? And then they would say, God, you got so old. So it is just a kick to be here. I've gotten, as Michael so nicely said, I've gotten a lot of journalism awards in my life, but this is really, really sweet. It just feels like a real full circle kind of moment. Just want to thank people for being here. My sisters, my 4 sisters and their husbands are here. So they're here, so many friends. My hairdresser came. She goes, I can't miss it. And she was like, no, you're not going with hair like that. And so she touched it up. And I'm so blown away. I'm just so blown away and grateful. So, and thank you to Michael for one of the best things I got from McDevitt was Michael's friendship. And it has survived all these years. And I just adore you, always. And to Chuck Boyle, man. I didn't know you were a McDevitt guy. Your work just, I mean, my God, you were like legendary in the newsroom. So, hey there. Let's have drinks. We should do it, right? Anyway, I like to say that there is a saying in, that the best journalism, it comforts the afflicted and it afflicts the comfortable. That's a really high bar, and I did not always hit it, but I really, really tried. Usually the afflicted were people who struggled, sometimes in circumstances of their own making, but more often, honestly, in circumstances that were created or ignored by too many others. And usually those other people were very comfortable. They were comfortable enough in their power to ignore those over whom they held power, or they were comfortable enough in the privilege of their birth, just being born into a family that is stable. So comfortable enough in the privilege of their birth or their skin color or their inherited wealth to presume that if others didn't have what they had, they just had to work a little harder. They didn't recognize, to quote someone famous, I think Molly Ivins, that being born on third base didn't mean they hit a triple. It meant they were born lucky. So in my career, I was acutely aware of how indiscriminately affliction and comfort are doled out in life. And it was clear that the best stories, like the really great stories, the ones that inspire us or move us to act, they unfold somewhere in the middle of all of that. And that none of us are actually as powerless as we might think we are when it comes to comforting the afflicted. So you might ask, well, what's that got to do with Catholic education? This is here to celebrate Catholic education. And it's got everything to do with it. And I learned this in first grade at Holy Martyrs in Orland, which is located on the same block as the firehouse. And on days when the siren would go off, Sister Joseph Maureen would have us stop whatever we were doing and say prayers for the firefighters and for those who were rushing in to help. We were safe and we were calm in our classroom. We were comfortable. Those victims were not, and the firefighters were not. So we prayed for them. We used the privilege of our safety and comfort, to comfort the afflicted. We weren't powerless to help them because we could pray for them. What we could not do was be indifferent to their suffering. To be indifferent to the suffering is an affront to God. That's a good thing to learn, and to start learning it in first grade. So that lesson kind of repeated itself a lot, like all throughout Holy Martyrs and then through McDevitt, in words and actions. And I have to say, it really did inform my career. And I dare say that probably for all of you, it really informed the adults who you have become. And the spirit in this room is so remarkable, and I think it really comes from the environment that we were raised in, just of Catholicism, for all of its good and its not so good, and we all know all that. So my job, though, wasn't to willfully inflict discomfort on the comfortable. It was to widen the lens on those who suffered so that more of us could see them and help them and actually love them. So my Catholic education taught me that doing this doesn't afflict our own comfort. It may afflict our hearts because it hurts to love people who are suffering. What it does do is it strengthens our humanity. by reminding us that love is the first and the best way to sate the comforts that all of us crave all the time. And that's the comfort of being seen and known, of being connected, of belonging to something bigger than all of us. And that beautiful something needs all of us acting in love, caring, compassion in order for that something to actually be a something. I don't know who I would be without that lesson of my Catholic upbringing, which is a lie, because actually I know just what I would be. I would be a bold, brazen article crashing through the world with self-centered abandon, afflicting others while demanding comfort for my own afflictions, like all of you other bold, brazen articles. So anyway, it's been 6 days since Pope Francis died. And if anyone deserves to have the last word on love, it's the Pope. So here's what he once said. In the end, he said, we ask, what is the most important thing of all? Where can I find the center of my life and my faith? He said, Jesus gives us the answer, putting together 2 commandments that are the primary ones, the love of God and the love of neighbor. And this is the heart of our faith. I'm so grateful for the lessons of Catholicism, and I'm honored to be among all of you guys today. Thank you so much for who you are, for all you are, and 3 words finally, Lancers for life. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. That was great. One of the problems with running these, of course, is that there are deadlines, and you have to buy your tickets by then so we can do our, seating and stuff like that. So we have to give a little award out to Ronnie's group. Okay, Ronnie had the most people who signed up after the deadline. Okay, not only her friends, but also one of her sisters. So we got another table. So for this, we have a old school late pass for Ronnie.